Welcome back to the Trucks, Trails, and Tales YouTube channel. Now I want to address something I've been seeing all over the internet lately in multiple various facets, from females to males to car people to not car people. Just, it seems like to be popping up. Maybe I'm just algorithmed, I don't know. But I wanted to throw my opinion in it since I feel like I have a pretty decent one. So here you can see two very equal cars. To give you a little background, this is our 1939 Dodge Sedan that I literally pulled out of behind my neighbor's garage over there about a year ago, put a lot of work into. Basically have about $5 grand total into this thing, all things said and done, right? Over here, we have a 2024 Nissan Sentra SR that Sam and I bought 2.5 years
maybe
ago. Yeah, you know, it's been a great car. We love it. But basically, these are the same cars, just how many years apart is that? 85 years apart?
Sure. I'm not good at math.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. Yeah, 85 years apart. So, like I said, I've been seeing a lot of stuff about people talking about newer cars and older cars, people wanting to drive older cars but not knowing enough about it, people tired of paying a lot of money for new cars. And so I figured we would just settle the debate with the junk that we have right here and let you know my thoughts and how I feel on the whole topic. So let's start off with our new hotness right here. That's a joke. It's just a
basic.
It's just a basic car. Although we did get the SR package, which means, you know, big old wheels and sleek style. No, it's just a car dressed up. So yeah, like I said, 2024 Nissan Sentra SR. I believe when we bought this, the MSRP on it was about $25,000. Now, when Sam and I bought this, we both had debt in other cars. I had a truck, she had a Nissan Rogue that we traded in for this thing. So all in all, I think we ended up out of it with like 30 grand in debt. So we probably paid about $550 a month for this thing. Let's just say 2 years ago. Now, since then, we have consolidated and sold off stuff in order to pay this car off. But let's just assume, for all intents and purposes, you as the consumer are going to go out and buy this car today. And let's just say you would pay $25,000, assuming you got a $500 payment in this thing, right? That's great. I think a lot of people are in that position because a lot of people don't like working on stuff, and that's fine. I'm not knocking it. I'm not saying it's right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm just saying people just like to be able to get into things and go, and that's cool. That being said, this thing is perfect for that. It is basically an appliance in car form, right? I think we have about 30,000 miles on it right now. The only thing it really needs is tires. I've done my own maintenance, oil changes on it. It's kind of a pain in the rear. There's actually like a little plastic shield on the bottom here that like you have to take off every time. So because I don't like dealing with that, I cut it off because I really don't care. But yeah, so people are tired of new cars. They're tired of new car technology. They're hearing all these things coming out about surveillance systems in cars. You know, just the price of them in general. I mean, a brand new pickup now is $60,000, $70,000. Back when I got out of college, a used one-year Enterprise truck was like $25,000. That was in 2016. Now that same truck probably costs bare minimum $50,000. So what are you getting with this? Well, first off, you're getting a $500 a month payment right off the bat, right? So that negates any fuel savings that you'd get. This thing, generally when it runs out of gas at like $4 a gallon that we have around here right now, probably $35 to fill up, which is really nice. I've had pickup trucks, well, the 86 is tucked away back there, but that thing costs about 100, 120 to fill up every time. And it gets like 10 miles a gallon. This thing, consistently 38, 40 miles a gallon no matter where you're going. So that's nice, right? But factor into that, you still have to pay $500 plus increased insurance because you have to cover the value of the loan in that. And yeah, so you're still getting savings, but it's not that much. Now, if you look at this thing, you get one of these fancy little guys right here. What's this guy do? It pops your trunk, it unlocks, it locks, and it might start it, but I don't know if it will if the trunk's open.
I don't think it will.
It will not. But you can remote start it, which is pretty cool in the wintertime. I get it. People love that. It's convenience. That being said, this is actually a fairly simple car, all things considered. And I'll have Sam step in here to show you. You do have a screen, you have Bluetooth connectivity, but you also still have dials and stuff. And I've seen people very resistant to the big touch screens and having to control everything on there, and I get it. Electronics stink. I'm an engineer by trade, and I absolutely hate electronics, which is why we'll get into this 39 here at some point. But like, that stuff fails, right? And getting into that topic, let's talk about this stuff. So this car is 30,000 miles. I think it's okay to reasonably expect a car will get 100,000 miles nowadays, as long as you maintain it. That's great. But when these electronics start going wrong, what are you going to do? I mean, sensors for these cars are not easy or cheap generally. Most dealerships that I've seen now, even big three out of Detroit, don't have a lot of these sensors in stock. You take it to your dealership, you ask them to fix something, and they're months out on parts, right? So you're sitting here as a consumer being like, I bought this thing because it's supposed to be reliable. I can't get parts for it, and I can't really fix it myself, or I don't have the aptitude to do it myself. You're stuck. So your car sits at dealerships for months on end. You're figuring, how am I going to get to work? How am I going to pay to feed my family? How am I going to pay to survive, right? When you already have $500 wrapped up in this. That's fine. This thing's been great to us so far. I think I have at least relatively okay knowledge to be able to fix most vehicles. But, you know, that's obviously a concern. But it's also okay now because we've paid it off. And that's what most people should be focused on. Don't get into vehicle debt. I know times are tough. People are paying a lot of money. Try to buy things with as little of a loan as you can and pay it off as quick as you can, because it is so liberating. But yeah, I mean, this thing has cruise control, it has AC, it has a push button start, which don't even get me started. I hate those things. You don't have a physical key. You actually can't physically put a key in here. It just comes with one of these guys to unlock your doors. That's it. Now you can sit here and do the fancy lock and unlock of it if you want to, but like, you know, for all intents and purposes, this thing is an appliance. This is something that, if you want to spend a decent amount of money, getting a loan, drive reliably to and from your workplace or your family's place or anywhere you're going, this is great. And I actually thoroughly enjoy this car. I'm very against modern technology, but I would say that as far as the options of stuff you can get out there nowadays, I would buy this thing again, just because it's just got the right amount of ganache in it to like make you feel good, but get you good fuel mileage and a good return on investment, I think. It's not to say that people driving Wagoneers or Denali Yukons or Bighorn Rams or Platinum Fords. Look, it's your money. You can do whatever you want to with it. I don't care. I'm not spending that much money on a vehicle. I'm going to get something that's relatively affordable and run the crap out of it, because we live in Pennsylvania. It gets, you know, real snowy and crappy in the winter. This thing does just as good as all those other things. So that's it. The Nissan Sentra, you know, the modern day 4-door sedan. It's all right. You're going to have a lot of upfront costs, very minimal maintenance costs, but when things go wrong and you don't have mechanical aptitude, you might not know what to do. So, you know, table that and we'll show you the 1939 Dodge Sedan here. So let's bring you now to the 1939 Dodge Sedan. Now, I commute about 30 miles each way to work. If I can take the interstate or not, it's about 44 minutes not taking the interstate. It's about 35 minutes taking the interstate. So, like I said, I bought this thing from my neighbor over here in a field for $1,300, right? I spent all winter. You can check those videos out if you like what you're seeing here. You might be entertained, you might not. I don't really care. Do whatever you want to.
It's like 20 videos or more.
Yeah. Spent all winter fixing this up. Like I said, not counting labor hours, I probably have about $5 grand into this thing. That's because it's hard to find parts for this. You can still find them through the right channels, eBay or repop sites, but you can still find them. They're still available. You can do it. So one thing that's nice about this car is it already looks kind of ratty. That's because it was filled with mice, and well, it's also 87 years old, right? So first off the bat, that gives it cool points. I get thumbs up from all kinds of people. We've had young moms give us thumbs up. We've had little kids give us thumbs up, teenagers, old men mostly. Old men love this. It's awesome because I think I'm a grandpa, but I'm like 32. Anyways, this thing's just cool. No matter what you do, if you were to compare both these cars, this thing would get all the attention every time, right? So let's delve into the details of this. So I bought it over there. Most of the tires were down. The engine ran, but only on an auxiliary fuel source, which means I had to run a separate tank to it. Rust holes in the floor, all kinds of fun stuff. Brakes, I need to redo all the brakes on it. Like I said, I'm $5 grand into this thing. At the end of the day, That is a fifth of the cost of that car brand new. Now, granted, it took me time. It took me a year to fix it up, right? That's a considerable amount. If you don't want to deal with that, that's fine. You have to work after work or on weekends to do it. But I thoroughly enjoy that stuff. I think it's a fun time. Now, let's delve into some more details of this car. So here's what's great. That Sentra over there has all kinds of emission stuff on it, right? Catalytic converters, excuse me. It'll automatically turn it off if you don't press the button at stoplights because, you know, apparently that's saving the environment and not ruining your starter. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, it's got all the fancy 2024 emission stuff. Guess what? This thing doesn't. This thing's exempt from it. Here in Pennsylvania, if it's older than 1975, it just doesn't matter. So what do I mean by that? Well, you look under the hood here, you got, don't mind how dirty it is, you got a flathead 6 engine with a carburetor, a weird old oil filter, a distributor, points distributor. Most people that don't know what points are, they can be a pain, but I've never had any issues with them. Very easy to replace, and a battery. Granted, it's smaller under this hood, but there is nothing under here. There's no accessory drive on the front other than a generator, a water pump, and the crank pulley. That radiator, I'm pretty sure is original to this car, and it doesn't leak at all. And this thing runs cool. Like on a day like today, it didn't even get over 160. So really cool, very easy, manual steering. There's no options on this car. It's awesome. Makes it very simple, whether you're working on it on your own or the side of the road trying to diagnose what's going on. Plus, these louvered hoods here, louvered, I don't know if that's the right term, but they're just cool. One other cool thing about 1939, and I think this is true for most manufacturers, they didn't have turn signals. This car doesn't have turn signals at all. It's one thing you don't have to worry about. Now people might say, hey, safety wise, that's not cool. And yeah, I get that. I think I can agree with you there, but you got a hand. You're turning left, you're turning right, right? People will see hands. If someone sees you sticking your hand out of your car, they're going to be a bit concerned with what's going on. That's all I'm saying. Now, the other thing that's cool about this car, no seatbelts.
And it's like a couch.
Yes, and the seats, don't mind how ratty they are. This was pre-lived in by small creatures that like to destroy things. But there's no seatbelts. Now, people are also going to say, well, I want safety and I want to be, that's cool. People in 39 did this, though. People in 39 didn't die driving their car. They loved it. So what's also really cool about this car is I had to cobble together my own throttle pedal, which I could do on my own with this car, make my own bracketry and all that other stuff. There's a heater right here that you might not be able to see. This car did come factory with a heater. Also notice there's no radio. Anyways, I was able to buy reproduction parts and with very minimal background, put them in here and make them work. The heater doesn't work because the ignition's not on, but it would nonetheless. You can smoke your cigarettes here if you want to. There's your little ashtray. So we'll wait for this lighter to pop out here. Look at that. You can toke up your cigarette. That car doesn't have one of them. Now this used to have a throttle cable, which you kind of use as a cruise control, but it doesn't, I had to rearrange that because the things didn't work, so sorry about that. That's one knock on this thing. Also, the horn stuff didn't work, so I had to wire my own horn button, and look at this, I can wire up Ooga horns. How cool is that? Anyways, as far as the interior, you got manual windows. You also have a 3-speed on the column manual transmission. So this thing is a blast to drive, especially using this 3-speed on the column, because it's just, you're sitting here, blah, 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 blah. It's just great. Other than that, you got your typical sun visors, all kinds of other fun stuff. You got a reading light in the back if you, this switch doesn't really work super well, but
there we go.
You can get it sometimes. And yeah, like Sam said, it's like a couch in here. It's awesome. Yeah, and you also got the same thing for the back seat. You got suicide doors. You got a big old couch to just sit with your lovely lady friend in and go out and get ice cream, which is pretty awesome. Now, that being said, this car is pretty ratty, kind of junky. It requires work. It requires somebody with the proper know-how or hackery to be able to keep it running and keep it going. But if you do that, you can get out of these things relatively cheap, have multiple of them. I could buy 5 of these cars for the price we bought that Sentra for. That's pretty great, right? What else can we talk about on this? Oh, the other downside is you kind of have to enjoy life in this thing. What do I mean by that? So that Sentra, you can easily go 100 miles an hour on the interstate all day if you wanted to, right? It'll do whatever you want to, no problem. Set your cruise control, pass by people going to, you know, local city centers around here, going way faster than you and flipping you off and stuff. Top speed on this old girl right here, about 60 miles an hour. Ask me how I know, because I drive it. It's nice because back in 39, there was no interstate system. People didn't drive fast on interstates. They had jobs in their local communities. They either used them for that or just leisurely family strolls, right? So you kind of got to really enjoy it. I've heard the saying, it's better to drive a slow car fast than drive a fast car slow. And that's true with this, because you get the 60 and you feel it and it scares you. Other than that, the thing's pretty awesome. It's got these cool little taillights on it. Like, look at the styling of these taillights compared to on that car. Now, I will say that car does come with a spare. Now, it is a donut, but it does come with a spare, and it comes with all the jack stuff too. So that's why I'm saying these things are very comparable. But yeah, they're basically the same cars, just 80-something years apart. Now, what am I getting at with this? I'm not resistant to technology. I like new technology. I think in some ways it benefits us. I think in some ways it's a detriment to us. I think these smartphones that we have are killing us. And not physically, I think mentally, they're ruining how we perceive life. You know, I think technology in cars is getting out of hand. I think people are paying way too much money for cars just for something they're being over-promised and under-delivered on. You know, that's not to say they're not cool or they're not great. But if I had the choice, I would choose one of these every time and drive old cars every time, because it's an experience. It's valuable life lessons, learning how to work on your car. I've touched every part of this car. I've replaced wiring. Some of the wiring on this car is still original. A good bit of it, actually. Most stuff on this car is original, and it's lasted 87 years. Where do you think that car is going to be at in 87 years? Not here. I bet you if that thing sat for more than 5 years, you would never be able to get it started. So what's the point I'm trying to make? I understand the need to want new technology and to keep up with the Jones and really enjoy life and spend the money that you have. That's cool, but debt sucks. We all know that. We all don't want to be in debt. We all want to be able to spend our life, enjoy what we want to do at the time we have. But we also want to do it conveniently. That makes sense here. You can be in debt, you can drive wherever you want to without any issues and love life. But you're going to pay for it. This car, you're going to get an experience. You're going to have to work on it. You're going to have to figure out what you want, how to do it. You're going to have to touch every nut and bolt, but you're going to learn valuable skills that'll transfer to all kinds of other vehicles, like the plethora of lovely cars we have sitting around here. I don't agree with new cars. I don't agree with the path we're headed. I don't think companies should be surveilling you in your cars. I think that's wrong. I think government being able to shut your cars off anytime they want to is wrong. Nobody's ever going to mess with this. The only thing that would ever happen is if someone poured sugar in your gas tank or disconnected your wiring or stuff like that. Not even an EMP event's going to take this thing down. This thing will still be running because there's no computers, none of that. Just good old-fashioned knowledge and mechanical things. So you make your choice. I think I'll stick with old cars. While it is nice having this thing for comfort and convenience, I would drive this a million times over. I would drive this every single day in my life if I could, or something similar to it. So let us know your thoughts and opinions in the comments. Let us know how you feel about this. I think it's a pretty hot topic, and I figured I'd throw my 2 cents into the ring and let you know how I feel. You know, let me know what your thoughts are. And, you know, that's it, I guess. That's all I really have. Just enjoy life. Don't be afraid to buy old stuff and try to fix it up, even if you know nothing about it. There's plenty of advice on the internet, plenty of things to look up. Don't be afraid to buy new cars if that's your prerogative. We all have things that we love the most, but just do you, man.